Michelle is a musician with albums released as Everyone Except Me and artist behind the post-apocalyptic webcomic Stray Cats. She's kind, a bit shy, and furiously creative. Henrique is a filmmaker with over 24 films and TV shows as producer, director, and occasionally host. He also released a couple of music albums. He's bombastic, larger than life, and tenacious almost to a fault. Together, they've been best friends for a decade. This show is awkward.
Instead of talking about Thanksgiving, you worked in retail for a very long time.
Yeah, that's true.
And you worked for Hot Topic.
Yeah.
So do you have any Black Friday experiences to share?
I don't have anything that's like really good because honestly, it's not like the horrible things that happened at that job ever happened on Black Friday. It was just really busy. And also, things have changed a lot since I worked in that kind of retail. Like we weren't open on Thanksgiving or Christmas or any of that stuff. Malls were just closed. So it was just like a really annoyingly busy day.
Well, do you have any? Okay, well let's go outside of this because we don't really have to live in the Thanksgiving realm. Do you have any worthwhile memories of working at Hot Topic?
I mean, I guess sure. This is hard because like it's been a long time since I was like actively working at Hot Topic.
Sure.
Hot Topic as a company like really changed and started moving away from things and then moved all the way back, and it's just super weird in there now. No, but I had like stuff like there was a customer who wanted a sale price even though the item wasn't on sale when she bought it, but it's on sale now, and I was like, we don't do that. Like I'm sorry. And it was like, I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And she just would not leave. And I was like the manager, like on shift. I was a key holder. And she would not leave. And I ended up trying to get in touch with my district manager and my, like the store manager, and like nobody could help me. And she eventually got so upset that she did leave, but then complained about my staff and said we were laughing at her.
Were you?
No, but my staff was talking and laughing about other things. I was not laughing. But when I get stressed out, I smile, I guess. So she was misreading the situation. But it was just this whole big ordeal that like could have been solved if like somebody could have helped me. Which is the main thing that's going on in general, that like at jobs where it's like all someone had to do was help me, and then no one would have been upset.
Was that the worst customer you ever dealt with?
Except for like the dudes who would like come in and like half stalk us, like make sure that they came in when certain people were on shift and asked them about their lives and that kind of stuff. And there was a guy we got banned from the store at one point, at least one, for just being around and being weird. But that was probably the most upsetting customer interaction just because I couldn't fix it, Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not a very interesting person.
Well, I worked at Spencer's Gifts for not long. I think like 4 months.
Yeah.
It might actually, you know what? It might have been a little longer than that, but I was hired like right at the start of November, and I was there until like February or March. Before I got a job in the field, more specific to me. And Spencer's Gifts was an interesting place to work. First of all, everybody that worked at Spencer's Gifts, like as far as like supervisors and stuff, they were all just waiting to get a chance to work at Hot Topic because it paid so much better. Spencer's does not pay particularly well, but it is a fun place to work. I will say that. But Spencer's, at least when I worked there, some 10-ish years ago or somewhere around there, when I worked at Spencer's Gifts, they would prosecute against any shoplifter regardless of what they tried to steal.
Wow.
So if you tried to steal a $4 thing, you went to court.
Wow.
And they did not care how old you were either.
Wow.
Yeah, they had signs. It was like, company policy is we prosecute. Yeah. So a lot of young people would steal things and then be very confused when we detained them and made them wait for the police to come.
Yeah.
They'd be like, well, can't my mom just pick me up? And it's like, yeah, from the police station, because you're going to the police station. There was this one kid, I don't remember what he tried to shoplift, because I was a sales associate, so all I could do was report theft to a supervisor. I was not allowed to confront them or anything like that.
Right.
And we had to stop them before they left the store.
Mm-hmm.
If we didn't stop them before they left the store, we could hope that mall security got them, but it was very unlikely they'd be able to.
Right.
So, but a kid was stealing probably bracelets or something easy to steal. And he was with some friends. Well, as he was trying to leave the store, the move that they would pull is the supervisor or a manager, whoever was on staff, would stop them at the door and go, excuse me, could I have that, whatever they took, could I have that blah, blah, blah back? And they usually would, like, without flinching, they'd either go, I don't have it, or they would go, oh yeah, and they'd go to hand it back and they'd be like, come with me. Just confess the theft. But one time, this kid got caught stealing, and his friends, and this was right around Christmas time, and his friends, all left because they had nothing stolen.
Mm-hmm.
So we detained this young man, and we're waiting for the police. And because it's Christmas time, like, everybody's always in motion. I'm sure you remember that.
Yes.
Like, there's just so many customers. Everyone's always doing something. So it was literally like, if you don't have anything to do, please go up front and fold t-shirts.
Mm-hmm.
Because the t-shirts are always going to be a mess because so many people are coming and going.
Yeah.
So I went up front and I'm folding t-shirts, and the kids' friends come by and they stand, like, it's almost like they were vampires that hadn't been invited in. They were, like, standing, like, right at the entryway of the gate of the Spencer's Gifts, but they can't come in. They won't come in. And they go, excuse me. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, how long is this going to take? And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, our friend, like, when, how long is this going to take? We want him back. And I was like, oh, well, we have to wait until the police get here. And they were like, the police? And I was like, yeah, stealing is a crime. So the police are going to come. And they were just all like, they just didn't even, like, they were just like, oh man, like, man. And I'm just like, sorry, we called the police. There'll be criminal charges.
Wow.
Like, you stole. And I know for a fact, I mean, that is not a common policy.
Mm-hmm.
To prosecute every single shoplifter.
Yeah.
So what did you have any experiences with shoplifters? You had to have had experiences with shoplifters, right?
You'd think that I would have, like, a lot to say about that, but I don't. I'm just, like, not good at catching shoplifters, which is not a good thing to tell people. Like, at all. What we had a lot at Hot Topic is we have, like, these really interestingly choreographed, like, grab and runs that we just totally miss, where it'd be like, oh, there were, like, 15 shirts here. Now there are no shirts here. Because they, like, waited until, like, someone was in the back, and then, like, someone come and just swoop in and take all of the t-shirts.
Jeez,
those were interesting. I mean, that didn't happen all the time, but it happened several times, enough times for it to be a thing. But yeah,
we were able to predict a lot of theft by the type of things that are stolen.
Sure.
And I mean, no disrespect, but Juggalo merchandise was stolen immensely. So a lot of times if kids came in and went straight to where all the Juggalo merch was, we just watched them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we'd catch them stealing stuff. Usually Juggalo merch. They'd steal a little Hatchet Man necklace or something like that. And we'd be like, excuse me, could I have that necklace back? And they'd be like, yeah. And they'd be like, ha, calling the cops. You're going in. And we would constantly have to cover supervisor shifts because they would have to go to court and testify against these young people. Oh, yeah. No, it was, and you would get paid to go in and testify.
Wow. I mean, that is not something that we did. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, you would get paid to testify.
Wow.
I think they believed that if that was their company policy, people would learn not to fuck with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I could see that as an idea.
And I don't know if that really worked, because I feel like a lot of people were stealing a lot from us.
Maybe they were doing it in spite of you. They were like, fuck them.
Well, plus, we had a lot of cheap little trinkets, easy things to shoplift. Yeah. And I think they really did think, oh, well, if I'm just shoplifting, like, a $3 thing, big whoop. And instead it's like, well, you're going to court.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I'm calling my mom. Well, your mom can come to court too.
Mm-hmm. Wait, did you not have like ink tags on every single thing you could put an ink tag on?
We did. We had anti-theft devices on a lot of stuff, but not everything. Not everything could have that.
We pretty much had them on everything. Besides, like, we pretty much had them on everything.
Well, yeah. I don't want to speak out of turn, but I would almost guarantee Spencer's Gifts had more SKUs by a large margin than the average Hot Topic.
I mean, you're probably right, but we did have tons of little items. We'd have like those ink tags on necklaces.
Well, see, we had, but I mean, literally, just the sex aisle of Spencer's Gifts had like 80 SKUs.
Yeah, we didn't have a sex aisle, so.
Well, that's the first problem with Hot Topic.
Pretty much, I guess.
There's no sex aisle. I remember my first day working with the manager. I had a manager who was a woman in her her mid to late 50s, and she had been working at Spencer's for over 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and she liked the job. She retired while I was working there.
Wow.
But like it was so funny. Like, I didn't know what was appropriate and what wasn't appropriate. So like, she would pick like a dildo off the wall and be like, what is this called? And I literally, because I'm so fucking Midwest, I was literally like, rubber phallus. She was like, it's a dildo. So I really liked that lady who worked there. And sometimes because I was new, she would let me just kind of hang out when it was slow. We would just kind of hang out by the front and greet people and just shoot the shit.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you about the time I lied to her and told her? So sorry. This is such a great one. So we're standing there, and these 2 or 3 girls walk in. And I look at the manager, and I just go, oh man, this is awkward. And she's like, what? And I was like, that girl over there is my ex-wife. And she's like, oh, well, do you want to take your break or go in the back room? I'm like, no, it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. Then the girls walk by, and as they walk by, like, we greet them like we would greet any customer, and they kind of ignore us like most customers kind of ignore you. And literally as they walk by, like just barely acknowledging us, my manager just turned to me and went, what a bitch. And I just lost my shit. I was like, I've never met that woman in my life. I was like 22. I was like 23. I was like, really? That's probably my favorite moment. That's a
great moment. And it was nice of her to, like, she was on your side.
Yeah, she had my back. No, that definitely, it was funny, but it also said a lot about her character. For sure. Oh, the other favorite moment working at Spencer's Gifts, aside from any time I sold anything sexual to anyone attractive, that was a highlight.
Sure.
But this one time, this like 16-year-old kid was in the store, and he was looking at Ouija boards. And he's like looking at him and thinking about maybe buying one, I guess. And I walk by and I go, can I help you? And he goes, yeah. Do these work? And I said, what, the Ouija board? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, a Ouija board is a conduit. It allows you to speak to those who have passed on. Those who are no longer alive and can't speak can speak through you. But you must listen to me. Never use the board alone. If you use the board alone, you'll become a conduit to the dead, all your own. And they'll never leave you. They'll stay with you forever. And the kid's eyes were like giant. And I was literally just quoting Witchboard, the movie Witchboard. And he's like, his eyes got really big. And then I literally just went, it's a game. Just spell murder. No matter what your friends ask it, just spell murder. And the kid started laughing, and then he didn't buy a Ouija board. So I guess I wasn't that good of a salesperson.
No, he'll probably never buy a Ouija board now because he's so scared of them. So
Good. But yeah, the see, like the really tiny, just to go back to theft, the really tiny trinkets we had in locked cases, like the higher end necklaces or body jewelry and stuff. That was all completely, you couldn't get to it without our help anyway.
Oh yeah, I mean we locked body jewelry as well. So yeah.
So also popular things to steal were just things that were embarrassing.
Of course,
like sex lube and condoms. Especially like young kids would steal that stuff because, you know, they don't want to be seen buying it, or they feel like they can't buy it or something. So then it's extra fun when their parents have to come and bail them out because they were stealing it.
Yeah.
Man, good times. It's like looking back at my military days, you know. I remember when I served in Spencer's Gifts. So there's nothing else particularly of note in your years upon years in retail?
You know, not really. You know, I've always like more interest. There's always more stuff that's like with the actual people I worked with, like the dude that we hired and went on break and never came back. And I never figured out what happened to him.
That's my friend Mariah used to manage a Hot Topic, and she said that happened more than once.
Yeah, I think when I was there in that entire 8 years, that only happened that one time where he just people would just disappear, like never come into their next shift. But like I literally was like, he seemed like he was doing a pretty good job. We liked him, and he just never came back. So I just assumed that like he was kidnapped. Taken by terrorists. Yeah, something like that. I was a key holder. I don't even know if I was at that point. I might have just been like whatever the hell we were, people, sales associate.
Yeah.
So like I think management eventually probably found out what happened to him. He didn't like just die. But
you mean they found what was left of his body?
Yeah, they found his body. But like it was just one of those things. It was like, really, you couldn't just tell us that you were just not going to come back. You had to like just run away on your lunch break.
Well, that blows my mind.
Yeah.
I mean, when I took my job at Spencer's Gifts, I was so thankful to have a job. I needed a job so badly. I remember being nervous about like being, 3 minutes late coming back from lunch and stuff.
Yeah.
It was so important to have a job.
Yeah.
And then to work with people who would only work 1 or 2 shifts and to be like, I don't want to come back to that. And it's like, dude, all we did was fold shirts and tell each other jokes.
Yeah.
That was literally your whole shift.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing that I do kind of miss about retail is a lot of it was just hanging out with the people you worked with. So if you happened to have like 1 or 2 good coworkers, your week was mostly pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, totally. Like, unless you're scared of them and you don't know how to communicate with them, totally.
How would you even know what that would be like?
I don't know. It's not like I am sweating more thinking about talking to people that I work with.
Well, so do you have the worst moment ever of talking to someone you work with? Do you have any like memories of true? I'm just asking you to remember trauma. That's all.
No. I don't like it. I'm sure that it's like in there somewhere. I just remember. You just have to understand where I'm coming from. Like anytime, especially like as like a low level manager at Hot Topic. A lot of times because we were a really low volume store or something. Maybe. I would be there in the morning by myself, because they didn't really need anybody else in the morning. So anytime like there was an actual other, like sales associate on shift, I would just be so stressed. Because like I have to because I'm the boss, so I should be like talking to them. So I don't know.
Yeah. What made you decide to take the offer to manage people?
The same thing that makes me take any of those offers like that. It's like, I guess I have to do this now.
So you did it for the money. It was all about the Benjamins.
Oh, totally. Because I really no. I felt really obligated to. I guess
like you felt like you couldn't turn down the offer.
Yeah. It's hard being me.
I was only at Spencer's less than 3 months when they offered me a promotion, and I said no.
That's nice.
Yeah, they were like, you could be a shift supervisor. And I was like, Adam, I'm good with what I'm doing now, making $9.20 an hour or whatever it was. I didn't have to take it home, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But, wow. So that your entire upward trajectory at Hot Topic was because you didn't want to say no to offers, I guess.
It's been a long time, so to say that's definitely what happened. I can't say that because I don't really remember. But in general, it seems like all opportunities like that have just been because I want to do the right thing, but I'm not sure what that is, so I just do that thing, and it's not the best idea. Fair
enough. Well, so there were a couple of good things working at Hot Topic. They were very supportive of you touring with your music, right?
Yeah, I mean, they were pretty supportive, depending on who it was. But yeah, because like Hot Topic was all about the music for a while. Trademark. Yeah, they were pretty supportive of me playing music. And for a couple of years or a year or something, we tried to have like little tiny shows in the store.
I was at one of those.
Yeah. So that was, I mean, they didn't really pan out super well, but like it was that we were trying, you know, so that was nice. And yeah, I mean, it definitely wasn't a terrible experience working there, which is why I was there for so long. I mean, besides the fact that I don't know how to quit jobs, you know, it was...
You don't know how to walk in and say, eat my ass, and then play Back in Black by AC/DC at full blast?
I mean, basically, no.
That's how you quit. I mean, that's in the book of how to quit a job.
Next time.
So, I've always been curious because, you know, I knew you toward the tail end of your Hot Topic time to some extent. I think you worked there like 4 years after I met you, something like that.
Maybe.
Which it seems like I think every job you've ever had, you lasted longer at than every job I ever had.
Yeah.
Because the longest job I ever had was like 2 years and 8 months or something.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
So well done, Michelle. Well done.
Yeah, I'm not, I mean, it's not bad to be places for a long time, and I guess when you get hired to other places, they like to see that like you could stay there for a long time unless they don't like you.
Oh yeah.
But like it's not like I feel like any of that was a good move, you know? Like I feel like I was at Hot Topic for what, like 8 years, and I was at like the next place. I was at Whole Foods for like 4. Like I should have quit both of those jobs way before I quit them. So,
but you were afraid to quit.
You gotta. I'm one of those people who feels like if I'm going to quit a job, I probably should have another opportunity lined up. First of all,
sure.
So I had to find something. But you know, also like I just don't want to quit something and then end up somewhere that is just as bad or worse, which is what happened with the next job. So.
Yeah, but the Whole Food years were really rough.
Yeah, they were, and I don't really have anything good to say about Whole Foods. I mean, I have plenty of like positive things to say about Hot Topic. I mean, with that kind of thing, it just depends on who your boss is. So I'm sure some Hot Topics exist today that are fun to work at, and some don't. But I don't really think that there are fun Whole Foods to work at. And I'm sorry, Whole Foods as a company, Amazon, whatever. I just don't believe that. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's not like I shop at Whole Foods. I can't afford it anyway.
Yeah.
You know, I was hearing this. Some people were talking about the lawmakers that are big on being anti-Amazon and Whole Foods.
Mm-hmm.
They're too big. They blah, 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 blah. They control everything. Those people are so rich they never go to Walmart.
Yeah.
Like they really think that like everyone gets everything on Amazon and at Whole Foods because that's what they do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they're wealthy.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I that doesn't shock me. Every time I've been in a Whole Foods, I just felt really out of place. Like all the white people were just eyeing me, wondering what I was going to buy. And I wasn't even going to buy anything. I was just there with my lovely white mother who was going to buy lots of things that I didn't understand. My lovely white mom who was going to be like, ooh, olives. Ooh, they're stuffed with artisanal garlic. I don't know.
I mean, they would be. Yeah. No, I mean,
and I'm sure they're delicious.
Yeah, but still.
What's the okay, so since I want to keep on this topic a little longer because now I just realized we opened a whole can of worms talking about Whole Foods. Mm-hmm. You had some weird experiences there with customers. I remember some
weird
of them.
Experiences at Whole Foods with customers. Because I mean, I guess it was a much busier store, and I was a cashier, so I was right there seeing all of them. God damn it, though! But what were they?
I remember one about the lasers. You couldn't scan the barcode.
Yeah, there are people out there that believe that like scanning barcodes, like the laser will like, I guess, mess up the food somehow, which is it's just light. But that's so like they would not let us scan their barcodes of anything they bought, so you had to manually type in the UPC number, which is fine if it's one item, but any more than that is really stressful. And also like a lot of times like their food is kind of like passing over that laser, but that's okay as long as we're not like scanning it.
What kind of, how do they interject that? Like you go to scan, like, oh, excuse me, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. No, it's basically like, can you not scan any of this? Basically. And I'm like, oh, okay.
And you're like, oh, you don't want it?
Yeah, I'll just put it back for you. But like they, this is something that they do all the time because they don't want this to happen to their food. So like, I'm sure like they're pretty well versed in explaining it. I just can't remember what they would say.
They're used to screaming into the sea of madness.
Yeah,
I don't want lasers touching my food.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Pretty much. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, like I know that the average consumer of like all organic stuff is a little touched about like, it's a religion, it's like, oh no, I want this to be certified organic. Oh, I want this to be non-GMO project certified, blah, 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 blah. All these things that are not, vetted and are not checked independently. But like, I guess it's just another step to be like, I don't want lasers touching my food because apparently lasers are a problem.
Yes. Yeah.
But my God, I can't even, how did you not laugh? Or did you laugh?
No, I didn't laugh. I'm pretty good at not laughing at people.
I'm just imagining you standing there and as you're going to scan, go, oh, miss, please, I don't want lasers touching my food. And then you go, oh, okay. And then you just start laughing and like, what are you laughing at? And you're like, oh, I'm just remembering something else crazy I heard earlier today. I'm just remembering another unreasonable person that I met the other day. Did they all wear tinfoil hats or were some of them cellophane or like how did that work?
It was a mix. It really was only like maybe like two people. This wasn't like
I didn't think there were droves of people. Yeah. I would have asked you about cults in the area if it was like dozens upon dozens of people wouldn't let me use lasers on their food.
Yes, between 12 and 1, all the non-laser people would come in to get their lunch.
And they're like, this is delicious, especially with the added laser flavor. Which, by the way, is going to be my DJ name. Laser flavor?
Yeah, I like that.
That's a good DJ name.
Yeah.
For when I finally get you to do that hip hop album.
Yeah. Yeah.
DJ Laser Flavor. Oh. The dream is real. But what other than the laser people, what else would happen at Whole Foods? I feel like there's just a wealth of of picky people that would come through there.
Yeah, I mean, there are, people who don't want their produce bagged, which is always weird because then it's like sitting on the belt wet.
Yeah.
And it's like, yay, with chicken, yay. Because, you try to like keep the belts clean, but it's busy in there. I can't clean them every time. So like not putting your stuff in a bag, that's just gross. Like put it in a little bag. And, and then just on customers who were unreasonably angry about things. Lots of those people who wanted to tell me about their lives.
Do you remember any life stories told to you against your will?
Like not right off the bat. I try to not remember those so much.
It's good to forget.
Yeah, I mean, there were definitely people who told me that they like recovered from cancer through having organic food, which is great. But there was a lot of people who told me about cancer. Actually, there's a lot of cancer. That's
you weren't that far from 3 Mile Island, right?
This is not the direction I wanted this to go into, and I just like remember all of the cancer stories.
All right, now we're just talking about cancer.
Yeah.
So sorry, but that's what's happening.
Yay.
So people would just walk up to you and be like, cancer.
Yeah. So like, have you heard about cancer? No, yeah. Lots of people just telling me how they recovered from cancer, doing these things. A lot of that stuff. I don't even know. It was just, no, I'm trying to, there's something else there, but I can't quite remember. Something about like salad bar, but I can't remember what it is. Yeah.
Oh man. They were just mad about what was in the salad bar?
No, like something about like weighing salad bar. Oh, the people who didn't want to pay for salad dressing. Yeah. Who would like not put it on the salad and put it in a little cup and then expect us not to weigh it. Because they thought the salad dressing was free for some reason. It's like, it doesn't sound like a big deal, but it was a huge deal because it would happen all the time.
And did you guys cave to it, or did you stand steadfast? You pay for your salad dressing?
I don't know. Legally, they all paid for all of their salad dressing. We never
legally.
Yeah. We never just went like, I don't know, and just gave them the salad dressing.
I mean, what are you? You're not a charity. You're not a salad dressing charity.
Yeah, the salad dressing, like, it doesn't cost very much. Just pay for
See,
it.
that's a bad argument to make, because then that's your argument and their argument.
Yeah. Well, if everybody takes our salad dressing, it will cost the full amount of the salad dressing.
When outlaws take salad dressing, only salad dressing will go to outlaws. That's not how that saying goes.
Thanks for listening. You can email us at thisshowисawkward@gmail.com or go to awkwardshow.com or whatever. See you next time.